You know I'm a rasta, you know I'm a panda, you know what to ganja, but you can make me conquer. You just take my data, you take up my sandals, you take off my lantern. I used to be a bruta, goes for you bruta. Yeah, you're my rasta fella, you can make people look and see anybody wonder what I point to make a shoot. I'll be a ladder, please be judging. Put me on trial, keep it in gotcha. Put me underwater, take me cutter. I don't need just I love you. Ooh, what? Can you see that? I love you. Ooh. Can you see that? I love you. Ooh, I love you. Ooh, I love fire. I'll be a ladder, please be judging. Put me on trial, keep it in gotcha. Put me underwater, take me cutter. I don't need just I love you. Ooh, what? Can you see that? I love you. Ooh, can you see that? I love you. Ooh, I love you. Ooh, I love you. It's STG.
Yes, a very good morning to the Black Fire family and karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show here on Black Fire Network, media for the 21st century. I trust everyone that is doing okay considering it is on a Monday. My name is Calmie and this is the Calmie African Diary Show. And of course, the jam that I had played to start up your Monday, that is to vibe up your morning, is of course, the title of the jam is You by the one and only Omale, and I can say that this guy is really doing what is supposed to be done in the music entertainment, that is in the music industry. Because trust me, today you are hitting, the next day maybe you are below the chart. So it's all about how hard, of course, you get to work, that is in the music industry. My name is Calmie, and of course, it is a very good and beautiful Monday morning, as much as it has been raining. Yes, it has been raining for most parts of the night. I'm talking about yesterday. I'm talking about today. Traffic has been quite hectic. I don't know on your side how it is. But here in Africa, I believe on most parts, because of the issue with the rain, traffic has really been not that good. And first, remember, you can get to log in at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com. And there you can take a look at some of the episodes you might have missed, that is on the show. Remember, we do have the Express show, we do have the Calm African Diary show, the Voices of the Motherland show. We also do have the 54 correspondence show, African, of course, the African Diary show. There is a lot of episodes that you might, of course, get to take a look at, because remember, every day is an educative opportunity. And of course, remember to hit me up on the live chat, because we are going to focus on one amazing tribe. And that is the Mursi tribe, all the way from Ethiopia. We'll, of course, get to take a look at what is so unique, what is so amazing about this tribe. But remember, the hashtag is to log in at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com. And of course, you can take a look at some of the episodes you might have missed. You can still take a look at the blogs that are lined up there for you. And still on Black Hot Fire website, you can take a look at some of the amazing music. We also get to play live music, and of course, you can donate to support the network. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, only on a Black Hot Fire network. And of course, like I've said, Monday shouldn't be that bad. Monday shouldn't be that bad. Part of those people believe that whenever you feel depressed, as much as you want to talk to people and get to hear their sentiments about the issue that you're battling, trust me, it is good at times to keep things to yourself. Trust me, at times it is good to keep things to yourself. You can maybe do this therapy of going out for long walks, maybe by the beach or just any. Bring a seed. Hi, Calmie. My internet is buffering a little bit, but I hope we are okay right now. Mr. Pirate Brain, you've said hi, Calmie. Hi to you too, and karibu sana to the Calmie African Diary. Perhaps you can tell us, you can tell us some of the things you hate when you are in public. Remember, it is on a Monday, and of course, on the way to work, I get to interact with a lot of people. It is very much normal, so long as you have left your premises, that is your house, you get to interact with people. So there's some of the things that really put me off when I am in public. And one thing is, if I'm seated near someone, that is, if I'm using a public means to come to work, if I'm seated next to someone and they are cutting their nails, I mean, this is something so unhygienic, and most people think that they can get to cut their nails anywhere they want to. That is part of the things that get to irritate me. That is when people get to cut off their nails in public. It's really not good. And of course, the chipped nails, they get to fly all over. It's just a no-no for me. And of course, remember, you can tell us some of the things that you really hate that people get to do in public that get to irritate you. Also, another thing is for the cigarette smokers, it's a really, really pathetic that they get to walk around all over the place smoking the cigarette, assuming that everyone gets to smoke it. It is really not a good thing for me, and that is why public places for smoking have been allocated, but people do not get to use that. And that is why we keep saying that there are just some behaviors that, of course, they're so uncultured. I get to say that is so uncultured. And of course, last but not least, what gets to irritate me in public, as much as they say that you do not need to look down upon maybe someone's hustle or something close to that. In Africa, we do have matatu touts, and they get to scream. Let me use the term scream because they get to really say it loud. But I really understand the nature of their job is to ensure they get as many clients as possible. So they get to touch you. I'm talking about Nairobi. I don't know how it is in different African countries. But the last time we were in Rwanda, I can say that Rwanda is very disciplined. Trust me. There's no shouting. You just get to see the tags of your destination. But in the 254 in Nairobi, the matatu tout, they get to really shout on your ear. They even want to force you to enter that bus by default. And excuse me, I'm just strolling around. I do not need, of course, to enter your bus. So those are some of the things that get to irritate me. But of course, remember, you can hit me up on the Calmie African Diary Show, and I can tell you some of the things that get to irritate you when you are, of course, interacting, or rather when you are in the public. And I see at DOD, you said, peace, sister, peace to you too, and karibu sana. You said you are much prettier than Keith. Thank you for that. Keith will skin you, but thank you for that. And just to proceed, remember to give me some of the views, some of the things that really get to irritate you when you are in public. I have mentioned some of the things that really get to irritate me. And of course, feel free to interact with me. And remember, you are tuning to the Calmie African Diary Show, and this is only coming live to you from a Black Hot Fire Network, which is a media for the 21st century. And of course, as we proceed, I just stumbled upon some facts about life that you really get to assume. How many times have you opened maybe your medicine kit, and that is your medicine kit? How many times have you opened your medicine kit and get to use the medicine and throw the cotton away? Because most people assume this, that the cotton in the medication bottles, of course, they come during the shipment, of course, to enable the pills not to be affected. But most people in most homes, in their medicine kit boxes, they still do have this cotton around the bottle of pills, which is very unhygienic. As much as it is not dirty, it doesn't look dirty to you. Trust me, it is very unhygienic. It is good for you to remove that, of course, of cotton, because it can collect moisture, because it is a very absorbent in nature. We all know about cotton. It is absorbent in nature. So and that is why you get to see that your pills get to deteriorate faster. So it is good whenever you are interacting with your medicine kit, that is a medicine a bottle, you get to throw those cotton that, of course, have been packed with them away. I believe you have learned a thing or two. And also on the did you know fact, of course, you all know that it is good to sleep with your door closed. Most of the times, personally, when I sleep with the door closed, it's because I'm like, maybe someone might be tripping and come to my house, by default. And of course, the excuse will be like, they saw the light and they came in. And also, most of the time when you lock the door, you are, of course, protecting yourself from also predators. But here's one fun fact: when you are sleeping, the reason as to why you should get to close the door is that it will help protect you from smoke and the toxic fumes in the event of a fire. That is, if there is a fire outbreak, you get to protect yourself from all those fumes. Because I'm talking about, for example, there's a Nyumba Kumi initiative which was launched in Kenya. And it was all about safeguarding the community. It was all about ensuring that some norms, or rather some vices in the society, they're of course done away with. But in regards to Nyumba Kumi, most of the time it was happening in we call it ploti in Kiswahili. Ploti, your Swahili teacher will get to expand on that. But ploti is just these are just some type of housing that you get to be so close to your neighbor. So if you are coming from a Mabati house is just iron roofing. If you're coming from a Mabati house and one house is burning down, trust me, the entire plot will get, of course, to go down. And that is why they keep saying that you need to lock the door. But for the people who, of course, get to reside from houses that are made with iron sheet, it is not quite easy, to save themselves. And that is, I've actually seen this during maybe there has been an issue with the fire outbreak, but of course the cause was electricity. Trust me, the entire houses get to be burnt. Karibuni sana. This is the Calmie African Diary Show, and remember, you are tuning to the Black Hot Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And of course, remember to log in at www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, and you can take a look at some of the episodes you might have missed. And still on that, remember, we do have different shows that, of course, keep coming on different days of the week. For example, the Calmie African Diary Show, we do have it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do have other shows as well. And still on that, you can take a look at some of the blogs. Remember, every day is a learning day. Personally, I didn't know these two facts, that is, these two life facts that I've read to you. But they say that education, or rather knowledge, does not cease. It is a continuous process. And of course, the DOD, you said, through Calmie, I believe that is in regards to the facts that I was reading to you about, of course, some life facts. And of course, the topic of the day, it's all about the Mursi people, all the way from Ethiopia. And of course, we are taking a short break as we get to take a look at who is this that we are talking about. And of course, remember, the hashtag is always that is to like and share the videos that you have watched with your friends. And also, you can get to support the stream at Cash App, that is at Mr. Black Hotfire. And of course, you can get to donate at www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. We really get to appreciate that. Of course, let's take a short break as we take a look at the Mursi people all the way from Ethiopia. Why is it that they are considered the most dangerous people? And their slogan is, it is better to die than to die without killing. Okay, let me put it correct. It is better to die, of course. how am I confusing myself? It is better, yes, to die than to live without killing. That is their motto. Let me repeat that. It is better to die than to live without killing. And that is why, if you are in Africa, Ethiopia, for example, you all know Ethiopia is known for its a good food, it's good, of course, environment. You get to test the food, you get to enjoy the culture with the people. But stay away from the Mursi people. They are our brothers. We really appreciate them. But there's one thing that they are considered to be very, very violent. Killing is just in a second. And they say that it's very common. I've interacted with a few Muslims. Not that I'm saying that all of them they are violent, but it is very common to, when you get to interact with the Muslims or the Ethiopians, they're really violent. I mean, they really get not violent. They really get mad fast. That is why if you do business with them, it's good not to double cross them. It is very common. Of course, everyone gets mad, but of course they are known for their tempers. They are known for their tempers, and that is why we're taking a look at the Mursi people. They are coming all the way from Ethiopia, and we are going to take a look at some of why is it that they get, of course, to be this. They do have a very unique tradition, and I love that for a fact. I really love their tradition. I love the way they get to put those discs on their lips. Not that I will do that on myself, because that is a very a painful process. I wouldn't dare do that. But of course, that is culture which is still in existence. And of course, let's take a look at what is so unique about these Mursi people all the way from Ethiopia. And remember, you are watching the Calmie African Diary Show all the way, of course, here that is on Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. Let's take a look at what is so unique about the Mursi people, their culture, their tradition, only on the Calmie African Diary Show.
Need a professional logo for your brand? I've used the new Wix logo maker to create one for my startup. I'll show you how. First, go to Wix Logo Maker. To start, I'm gonna type the name of our startup. Then I'll add our
sorry about that
tagline.
adverts.
Gotta make sure it's catchy. It's for a travel app we're developing, and I want our logo to look dynamic and techy. Now check this out.
From the continent of Africa, in the kingdom of Ethiopia, towards the borders with the Sudan and Kenya, the river Omo. Along the Omo, the territory of the Mursi. Men of the Mursi returning from war. "20 miles to the north of here, these men have been in a skirmish with a party of raiders. A Mursi has been killed, and one of the enemy shot dead by a Mursi youth. It's the boy's first killing, but these deaths are just 2 more to add to dozens of others on both sides over the past 3 years. Now raids and skirmishes are occurring almost daily in the war between the Mursi and their northern neighbours, the Bodi. This film is about a society at war. But it's not just about rifles and bullets. There's no need to come to a remote part of Africa to find them. What did interest us about the Mursi is the way they decide what to do about problems like war. For the Mursi reach all their important decisions in open public debate. This film is a detailed record of how the Mursi made their vital decisions at a time of crisis.
The messenger, basically. I think probably he will when we get down there. Speak as the word bringer.
The main Bodhi spokesman is a man called Golan Minta. He speaks the Mursi language fluently, but he's a tough negotiator. And
Sorry, the internet is buffering a little bit.
Good grammar and spelling are important.
and has already predicted a 7-year war. And Golan Minta has unwelcome news for Uli Chagi to take back to the Mursi. The only way the war can end, he says, would be for the Mursi to withdraw from the river Mara and a place called Kuduma. He claims that both places really belong to the Bodhi.
Now tomorrow now kese karani na keli rena rena nganga na katate una berko te ha una yoga nganga uliwa okui
Kono ko yobalo. Ibi betitoro butomue. Ini betitoro butomue. Ini beya na ini. Kono ko yobalo.
But despite Uli Chagi's diplomatic response, the Bodhi peace proposals are tough.
At Gura, we first came across what is probably going to be the sticking point, and if peace doesn't materialize, which will be the main obstacle, and that is the Bodhi insistence that in fact Mara, the river Mara, and also this cultivation area called Kuduma are really their country. I don't think they can seriously envisage the Mursi ever withdrawing from either of those places. And certainly I can't see that happening because it's only been at Mara over the last 3 years where there's been any semblance of a reasonable crop. Hi.
It is these Mara people who, of course, are most concerned at the moment with the Bodhi problem because they are the most northerly members of the Mursi group, those, in other words, who are right up against the Bodhi geographically.
For the Mursi here at Mara, the war has overturned the normal patterns of their lives. It's harvest time now, and there should be a great coming together of men and women who've spent the dry season months apart, the men miles away with the cattle in search of grazing, while the women cultivate the sorghum crop.
At this time, then, the cattle and cultivation, so to speak, converge, and it's possible for family units to be united in a way that is not possible during the dry season. In normal circumstances, therefore, at this time, there would be cattle within a very few miles of us here, and people would be working in their cultivation areas during the day and would be walking back to their cattle settlements to drink milk and so on in the evenings. At the moment, because of the trouble with the Bodhi, there are no cattle here, so you have the population now almost as scattered or as separated as it would be in normal circumstances during the dry season.
Sheltering from the early afternoon heat with some of the men who stayed at Mara is Rabbi Thela. Rabbi Thela.
Well, there is one thing that is very unique about the Mursi people. You can see that they are considered to be violent because it's all about territories. It's all about territories because on most occasions, even here in Kenya, we did have the post-election violence, and the reason as why it did get to happen, it was because of issues with tribes, issues with where I'm coming from, the culture, issues with land, and it has been happening for quite a long time. For example, where I was in primary school, we did get to witness a lot of, ethnic clashes, which is very much common. But I think it's high time that these people get, to separate the land that belongs to another community once and for all. Because if you ask me, this is the reason as to why we've been having wars between two different communities hating each other from. And when, of course, you get to take a look at how this all started, you get to see that it has been there for quite a long time. So the Mursi tribe, all the way from Ethiopia, they are considered to be a tribe you wouldn't want to joke with. As you've seen, if you get to cross their path, if your cattle gets to feed on someone else's crops, that is war. If the young boys get to play together and they end up fighting, that is war. And I can say that they are really of course a very temperamental community. And just to continue, the Mursi people, they are of course a Samic ethnic group that is in Ethiopia, and they get to reside in the Omo zone. And I believe this is one of the reasons as to why, they are really going through a lot. They are nomadists at times. The issue with resources is highly affecting them because they highly depend on, they are a pastoral and nomadic tribe, which means that they get to relocate from time to time in terms of pasture. This is one community that gets to measure their wealth in terms of cattle. So you can imagine the competition for the resources for the cattle, the competition for the resources of land to till. That is why they get to fight from time to time. And just to continue, they are relocated in the Omo Valley due to the number of cattle they own. And that it is very common. For example, in Kenya, the Maasai community, they also get to interact, they also get to live, some of them, they get to live in the Rift Valley. Some of them, they have been known to live near the game parks. They have been interacting with the wild animals, because that is a very good place for them to actually get to, of course, take their cattle to graze. And just to continue on that, all this nomadic and pastoralist group, I believe they have some type of a temper, but I believe it's one thing trying to exist. Because I can imagine the competition for resources. Everyone wants to outdo the other. And the Mursi people, I can say they are more like the Maasai people, but the difference is in terms of culture. That is, the difference is in terms of the tribal tattoos, which I'll get to share as we continue with the show. And just to continue on that, one reason as to why they are the most dangerous people, like I've told you, they say it is better to die than live without killing. That is their motto. And this is for the warriors. And when I had shared the video, you could see young men with rifles walking around, and they wouldn't hesitate to shoot at an enemy because they have seen what it has costed them. As much as I want to point fingers on them, I can say that it has costed them their lives. It has costed them their cattle. And that is why they get to have this dangerous motto that is, it is better to die than live without killing. This is one community that won't hesitate if you get to cross their path in terms of stealing their cattle, in terms of competition of resources. I'm talking about resources like, of course, grass for their cattle, water for their cattle. And I believe it's high time. There's a lot of things that are happening in Ethiopia. Forget about even the Nile Dam talks. The Ethiopian government hasn't done a lot to deal with some of these ethnic clashes that are going on a daily basis. For example, in Kenya, we did have an issue whereby the Kisii community with the Kalenjin community, they were at war because of border issues. Because if you leave your cattle to go and feed on someone's farm, you can imagine the impact the cows will have caused. In terms of maybe you have planted maize and you are waiting for you to go and sell that, you'll definitely be mad at that. And to continue on that, there's something positive about the Mursi people in that they get to wear leaflets. And I've said it's a no-no for me. I wouldn't go out and get my lip, of course, and get my lip done that way. For the Maasai community, they get to do it on the ear. I'll get to share those images. That is the ears of the Maasai community. They've done that. I've seen also the Mursi community. They have done that. But Mursi women are famous for their wooden leaflets. And that is one thing that you can get to see. You can get to really know that this is a Mursi, of course, a person. I mean, this person is coming from a Mursi community. And the leaflet serves as a symbol of beauty and identity. And just to continue on that, a girl's lower lip is cut sometimes by her mother. That is when she reaches the age of 15 or 16 years. It is culture is something that gets to be passed on from tribe to tribe. As much as it is painful, it has to be done. It is not uncommon to see that different communities get get some tattoos or markings on their body. For example, in the Kisi community, they get to put some scars on your face, scars on your arms, scars on your body. To them, it was a sign of protecting you from evil spirit. For some, it was a sign of beauty. And just to continue on that, this wooden, of course, the lip cutting, of course, it's held and opened by a sodden plant until it heals. So you can imagine when it's time to eat something hot, or when it's time to eat, when it's a time to eat something which is, which has a lot of pepper in it, you can't finish that meal. So this is a process that needs you yourself to be, of course, that needs you yourself to be, to really maintain and adjust to the situation. And unmarried girls, especially those that is unmarried girls, they get to wear them whenever they are in public. So this is a sign of beauty. It can be done anytime, any place by the Mursi people. And remember, you are tuning to the Calmie African Diary Show only on a Black Hot Fire Network. And we are talking about the Mursi tribe all the way from Ethiopia. And it is all about, of course, culture. It is all about what is happening in our society. And that is why we are talking about the Mursi people. And of course, we're just going to continue a little bit and take a look at some of their culture in terms of fashion, some of their culture. Let me just get to share that a little bit with you. And I'm sorry, my internet is quite buffering. It's on and off, but I believe it's the bad weather. But of course, we are good. You can get to bear with me with the situation. And remember, the topic is all about the Mursi community, all the way from Ethiopia. And of course, they get to reside in Oromo Valley, that is in the Oromo Valley. And this is one community that really loves, to take care of their own. This is one community that gets to be mad if you get, of course, to interfere with them. Let me just share with you some of what they get, of course, to enjoy it. That is the Mursi food. Let's take a look at the Mursi food, what they get to enjoy, perhaps, because this is a nomadic community all the way from Ethiopia, and we can take a look at what do they get to dine on. As much as they are considered to be one violent community, what do these people get to dine on? And of course, we are going to share that one here on the Calmie African Diary Show. I'm just all right. Here we go. Let me just get to share that a little bit as we continue, of course, dealing with the show. And remember, you can hit up your comment on the live chat. And this is the Calmie African Diary Show. And of course, you are tuning to Black Hot Fire Network, which is a media for the 21st century. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at what they get to dine on, the Mursi community. And remember, this is a community that has really known hardship. So I wouldn't really look down upon them. Let's take a look at what they get to dine on. For the Maasai community, they love, of course, they are known to love meat. They're known to love milk. They're known to love blood. And trust me, the Maasai community, I've seen them. At times they get, of course, they can get to cook their meat. They can get to cook their meat. They can get, we call it nyama choma. They can get to eat it raw. Depends with what they want to enjoy.
Vigilan y atienden los cultivos de sorgo y maíz. Las mujeres se encargan de preparar la comida. Su dieta es muy poco variada, sorgo o maíz. Solo toman carne en fechas señaladas o para celebrar algún acontecimiento. Normalmente en el desayuno toman maíz tostado, a mediodía y por la noche pasta de harina de maíz.
Lord, Nina, na ko sa kanya.
Anyway, that is just a brief of the Mursi community. You can see they get to survive on sorghum and millet. And perhaps you're wondering, why is it that they get to dress this way? You know, it's very much common that, you know, when you are in the bush, you do not have resources, and maybe you do not have a clean water to be frequently washing your clothes. But this does not mean that they get, of course, to walk naked. Of course, this is one way of surviving. And that is why, if you come to Kenya, most of the people who deal with security, they are the Maasai community, because they have known a hardship in the bush. These are the people who really know to survive. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary, and of course, I really appreciate at a DOD, at a Mr. Pirate Brain for tuning in. And of course, for those who are listening and watching the show, we really get to appreciate you. And the topic of the day was all about the Mursi people, all the way from Ethiopia. Perhaps you can shoot your question. And of course, as we move on, we are going to take a look at some of the updates. What is happening in Africa? Because there has been a lot that is happening in Africa. And of course, considering that right now we were, you know, it was all eyes. It was all eyes on America. Of course, I've seen a lot of memes circulating on social media, but it's crazy. It is crazy, of course, because you know, they say that one man's win is another man's fall. Of course, it's very much common. You get to accept and move on. Of course, we know it's a wishing. We're not wishing for any violence to take place. And moving on, there has been a lot of, there are actually a lot of updates coming all the way from, of course, all the way from Africa. And we do have this one, of course, a situation whereby we do have this one situation that is happening in Tigray, because Tigray, there has been some action that are, of course, taking place in Tigray, that is in regards to Ethiopia. Remember also the community that we were talking about was the Mursi community, all the way from Ethiopia. Seems that there has been some stabilities. There has been some stabilities in Ethiopia, especially on Tigray. And this was, you know, there was an issue between there was a border issue between Ethiopia and Sudan, and this is due to the Nile talks, which has really not no fruits, of course, have been seen, because one community is claiming that the other one is being unfair to them. So, of course, that is how it gets to happen. But right now, the situation is that there were military police that were deployed on the Tigray region, of course, to ensure that there has been peace. Sorry, that there has been peace. Oopsie, I got to really say something else. That there has been peace. And in the Tigray region, things have really not been good. But right now, we do have the federal government trying to negotiate, which is good. I believe that something positive will come. Because let us not be fighting in Africa. Remember, also we did have the hashtag #EndSARS in Nigeria. Things were really not good. And of course, we shouldn't end the year on a bad note. We shouldn't end the year on a bad note, because if anything, we really need, of course, we really need of course, to support each other, because 2020 has not been good. Africa has been a target itself. Take a look at COVID-19. Take a look at how business is right now, that business isn't as good as it used to be. And of course, we are taking a short musical break, and when we will be back, And when we will be back, we will still be focusing on what is happening in Africa. We'll take a look at what is happening in Africa. And of course, the title of the jam is Still You by the one and only Omalay, all the way from Nigeria. Before we tell you what is happening in Nigeria.
Girl, you know I have to go to work for the words, for this words for you. If I have to put on my hair, put no pussy enough for you. Ain't nobody know the cause of my matter, this is my shawty. Anybody underestimates it, the matter, tell them I say no, my shawty. If you need a fire, I'll be a ladder, this is judgment, put me on trial. If you think I hurt ya, put me underwater, take me cutter. I don't need your I love you, ooh, whoa. Can you see that I love you, whoa. Can you see that I love you, whoa. Ooh, I love you, you know I'm a bad man, you know I'm a rasta, you know I'm a vanda, you know I do ganja, but you dey make me counter, you dey take my data, you dey cut my sandals, you dey off my lantern. I used to be a bruta, goes for you bruta, yeah you're my rasta fella, you dey make me kuluta, see anybody want a point I make a shooter, tell a few a la man, batty man shooter, but if you need a fire, I'll be a ladder, it's the judgment, put me on trial, if you think I hurt ya, put me underwater, take me cutter, I don't need your I love you, ooh, what, can you see that I love you, ooh. Can you see that I love you, whoa, ooh, I love you, ooh, I love you, fire, I'll be a ladder, it's the judgment, put me on trial, if you think I hurt ya, put me underwater, take me cutter, I don't need your I love you, ooh, what, can you see that I love you, whoa, can you see that I love you, whoa, ooh, I love you, ooh, I love you. It's SCG.
Yeah, that is coming all the way from Nigeria. And of course, before we took that short musical break, we were talking about the situation that is happening in Nigeria. Remember, we did have the hashtag End SARS, whereby we did have a lot of celebrities coming about, the likes of Burna Boy. We did have the likes of Beyonce coming in. We did have the likes of Wizkid, the likes of Davido, different celebrities, of course, renowned celebrities, and of course, upcoming celebrities, and everyone, even a politician, they were using it as a one way of wooing votes, from Africa. As I'm talking about the US itself. But something is happening in Nigeria, and it is not good. Remember, we've seen reports of people who have been killed in this End SARS, of course, the hashtag End SARS, of course, protest, which has been going on for weeks now. And like I've told you, 2020 has really not been easy for us. 2020 has really not been easy for us. We've dealt with the issue with COVID-19. We've dealt with the issue of losing our beloved ones. We've dealt with the issue of being jobless. I mean, there has been a lot of negativity. And we are trying as much as possible to be on the positive side in terms of, staying sane. Because trust me, the more stress you have, the more insane you get to be, the more you end to cause accidents. And we are wondering, why is it that we are having a lot of accidents, happening around? This is because the mental stability of the people is not at peace. People are dealing with a lot of things. People are bagging in losses. But still, let us not forget that the same people, there's that sector that is struggling. There's that sector that is going, to showroom, of course, to buy new cars, maybe from their own salary or maybe from illegal money. It's all about survival. What I've come to realize, especially in Nairobi, it's all about survival. I've seen people, do things for the sake of money. But what I want to tell you is that continue staying sane, continue doing what you are proud to do. And right now in Nigeria, there has been reports of a fresh anti-police brutality protest, which are planned to take place today. And of course, it has been, this of course is coming in because it has been published by the local media in Nigeria. Remember, there was a time that even armed gunmen, of course, they stormed into a local newsroom. They took all the computers, they banned it is believed that they banned some documents on the entrance of that local media. And if you ask me, that was one way of silencing the people. Because Buhari has been in power for quite a long time. If anything, it's high time that Buhari needs to ensure that the will of the people is not looked down upon. Nigerians will keep dying on a daily basis because they're trying to fight for a better tomorrow. Personally, if I was a Nigerian, I'll be out there in the streets because today is my neighbor, tomorrow is going to be me. Because this police, we got to see that the NSAS protest, this police, they were deployed on other units, which means that they will continue, with their behavior, come what may. The issue of brutality on people. Let me tell you, even here in Kenya, the issue of police brutality. Find yourself past curfew time. That is when you know that your life is on the hands of these police. They might end up, extorting money from you. But if you are the tough-headed one, I've seen cases whereby people have been killed by the police and a gun has been planted there. And they say that it was a shoot and kill. And they say that, of course, maybe they get to call you a criminal. And your family knows that you are not one, you have not been engaging in such activities. So I can imagine for these Nigerians, whereby you get to be stopped in your car, you're told, where is the source of your money? Yes, Nigerians have been known for the issue with cyber crimes, but it is not all of them. Some people have really struggled to get that money. So you can imagine you're going to work and you're being stopped, and they want to confirm the source of your wealth, your phone. You can't even do designers in peace. The money you've struggled to get. And now to continue with that, the new threats, they come after a court order granted the Central Bank of Nigeria the right to freeze the accounts of 19 individuals and a public affairs company linked to the hashtag #EndSARS. Which era are we living in? This is dictatorship. Let me repeat this. I support the Nigerians because I don't understand, even the accounts of those people who are going to be freezed. Of course, it is just some commoners. Because I actually see that they can't freeze the likes of Davido's accounts, the renowned people, because then there's going to be fire for them. But why choose a certain number of people and go to freeze their account? Because they're out there mobilizing people to fight for their rights. Let me read that again. The new threat to continue with the anti-police brutality, that is the hashtag #EndSARS in Nigeria, it is after a court order. A court order. Let me repeat that, a court order. And I'm amongst those types of people who if I'm in a situation, I'd rather not deal with the court, because that is one way you're going to waste your money. And some of the thieves, let me tell you, the thieves right now who go unstoned, because in Africa, Kenya, for example, if you are caught, of course, stealing in public, you either get to be stoned or, the mob justice, everybody gets to throw whatever they want to throw at you. The things that you do have, one thing is the politicians. The second thing, it is the lawyers. The third thing, it is the pastors. Pastors allure you to give, to pay your tithe. They're like, this is for the goodwill. Of course, I'm not saying that it is not right, or maybe if you feel like doing so. There are some people who have really sunk into religion. But I've seen pastors leaving the fast lane. well, the members of the congregation, they're really struggling. Every weekend, they ensure that they get to pay something in church. So this comes after a court order granted the Central Bank of Nigeria the right to freeze. I mean, I think people should even boycott this Central Bank of Nigeria because, it is many people against a few. But because some politicians still want to remain in power, some politicians still want, to be the ones who are ruling Nigeria, then they'll press for such. Remember, there was an incident whereby a politician switched off the lights, turned in the direction of the CCTV, and some people were killed who were protesting. And that should tell you that the hashtag #EndSARS protests, the common Mwananchi, we call them the common Mwananchi, I'm just talking about the civilians, the people who get to elect these politicians into power, they are tired. For it's like you being in a toxic relationship. You keep on, giving someone another chance. People are even telling you, oh, why are you in this relationship, hurting, but you really want to make yourself, happy. You're like, I can maintain, I can survive in this. But it reaches a point you're like, enough is enough. In Swahili, we say, kama kaende mbaya. Just to say that if anything comes, let it come. If it goes bad, let it be bad. But let it be bad, but are there other points of whereby I get to be relieved? So the account of 19 individuals and a public affairs company that are linked to the #EndSARS protest, they are going home, not going to be able to feed their family, not going to sustain themselves because one politician is making them a target. Because let me use the politicians in general, including Buhari himself, because if he's a man of his words, this shouldn't be happening. He should have dealt with this, the #EndSARS, long time ago. And of course, we do have different groups that are being targeted. For example, we do have the Muslim rights concern, which has urged people not to participate in fresh protests. Okay, they are urging people. But take a look at some of the people, some of the brains behind this, because this is for the future of the Nigerians. And of course, the Lagos state government has also advised residents against taking part. So what are you telling us? That you can come, protest, and then we go home asleep, knowing that some people have been killed because of this? We should, they say that you should please the dead. Such that is in the African culture. You should get to please the dead. Whatever they were doing, you should get to finish it. If it was in terms of building a house, in terms of doing a project, you should get to finish it. Such that their souls may rest in peace. But their souls are not resting in peace if people are being silenced. And of course, there has been a panel which has formed to look into police brutality. And it has been hearing this from victims. But are you thinking what I'm thinking? This panel, it was not voted by the people. This panel was just put there by the same politicians. So even these victims will go out there and give part of their story. What is the way forward for them? Because I see that some people are going to be missing. And I see at Monique Oware, if I have pronounced that correct. Is it Monique Oware? If I have pronounced that correct. Karibu sana to the Calmie African Diary Show. You said, why do you ignore our messages and Mr. Pirate? Mr. Pirate brings you should get to do some justice. And of course, DOD said is COVID in Nigeria. I believe it is there because some schools have even been closed. But of course, we all know that there has been some exaggeration into this. Some schools have been closed. Even the issue with the #EndSARS protest, it has, of course, led to this. But my concern is, what is happening in Nigeria is in broad daylight. It is showing us that you do not have a voice, that if anything happens, that if politicians get to do anything, they have to get away with it. Because at the end of the day, they have to remain at the top of the food chain. And I want to say that it is not right in Nigeria. Of course, we are almost coming to the end of the show, but let me know your views regarding the situation in Nigeria, in that people are being silenced, in that accounts are being frozen in Nigeria, just because they are trying to fight for a better Nigeria. What is the future of their kids? What will you tell your child as you come back home and tell them that I left the house to go and protest such that tomorrow you might have a bright future, but today I'm choosing to stay indoors because I fear for my life. And I want what was happening to me to happen to you, because that is basically okay. My internet is buffering a little bit, but we are almost coming to the end of the show. And of course, the hashtag was also the end SARS the fresh and SARS in Nigeria. We do have the other show that is the that is the 54 correspondent show, which is coming right a few minutes from now. And of course, forgive me for my internet is buffering a little bit because we do have an issue with the changes in weather pattern, and it really gets to affect us. But of course, a big salute to DOD, to Monique Owari, to Mr. Pirate Brin for tuning in, and for those who are watching and listening to the show, really appreciate you. Remember, you can get to log in at www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, and you can get to watch some of these episodes if you did get to miss them. And still on that, you can get to take a look at the blogs which are being lined up for you there on when you get to log in at www.blackhotfirenetwork. And also you can proceed to donate and support the network. And of course, we do have the Calmie African Diary Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday only on Black Hot Fire Network. And remember, it was all about, the topic was all about the Mursi people and why they are considered dangerous. And I see at the DOD say, I want to move to Ghana. What are your thoughts on that? I believe Ghana is a peaceful place to be in terms of if you want that good environment. But you might want to take a look at its economy, because the last time I checked, the president isn't really doing a lot on that. But it is very much common in different African countries. I believe also in your country. You get to elect a politician, but of course they don't get to stick to the end of the bargain. But Africa is a very good place to relocate, and of course stay safe, because you might end up relocating to a wrong place, which is maybe a war zone, and end up being caught up. And of course, I really get to appreciate everyone who has tuned in, and thank you very much for tuning in and for keeping it Black Hot Fire Network Media for 21st Century. Remember, you can you can kindly get to like and share the videos that you have watched, and also you can get to support the stream at Cash App, that is Mr. Black Hotfire, and donate www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. Salute to everyone, and also at Kit Newsom for providing this platform. Thank you, Sana, and of course, I'm looking forward to interact with you to the 54 correspondent show, and also I keep saying aspects. I'm looking forward to interact with you to the to the expression, which is coming right a few minutes from now. Thank you so much, and my name is Calmie, and this has been the Calmie African Diary Show, only on Black Hot Fire Network. Tuonane baadaye katika kipindi kifuatacho, only on Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century.
work for the words, so this words for you. If I have to put on my health in the post, it's enough for you. Ain't nobody know the cause of my matter, this is my shawty. Anybody underestimates it in matter, tell them I say no, my shawty. If you need a fire, I'll be a ladder, please be judging. Put me on trial, if you think I hurt ya, put me underwater, take me closer. I don't need your I love you. Ooh, whoa. Can you see that? I love you. Whoa, can you see that? I love you. Whoa, ooh, I love you. I love you. You know I'm a bad man. You know I'm a rasta. You know I'm a panda. You know I do panda, but you can't make me calm down. You just shake my data. You just cut my